Imagine yourself in a top-notch cafe in a posh part of your city. The air is filled with freshly baked pastries and brewing coffee. Jazz music playing in the background. When you look around, everyone is either deep in their conversations or reading a book. Picture the sunlight streaming through the windows. It's the perfect spot for relaxation and inspiration. And here in this top-notch cafe, our story begins. The bar encounter. Amanda is an author who's wrestling with indecision over her book project. Alex, the owner of a successful software company who is known for his decisive leadership, settle into conversation. You see, Alex, I've been stuck in this loop of overthinking my book for months now, and every time I write, I end up second-guessing myself. Alex slides onto the stool next to her with a smile on his face. Analysis paralysis. I've been there too. You know, there's a story how IBM overcame a similar situation back in the 90s. Really? Amanda said. So how did they do it? Alex leans in and his voice slightly drops. IBM was facing a crucial decision about entering the personal computer market. They could have gotten lost in endless analysis, but instead they set a deadline and took action, and it paid off big time. At that moment, Amanda realized that setting a deadline and taking decisive action is crucial to breaking free from analysis paralysis. As Amanda reflected on Alex's story, Amanda decided from there to set a concrete deadline for completing her book outline and taking the first steps towards writing. Imagine yourself seated in a busy airport lounge, surrounded by the hustle and bustle of travelers, preparing for their journeys. Murmurs of conversation blends with the announcements echoing through the terminal. Amongst the commotion, you spot travelers all in their own world, while a few travelers bury their noses in books. And here in this busy airport lounge, our story begins. The airport lounge encounter. Jason, an aspiring author who is feeling overwhelmed by the prospect of publishing his first book. Sarah, the owner of a successful marketing agency who is renowned for her strategic thinking, says to Jason, I've been researching my publishing options for weeks, but I can't seem to make a decision. There are just too many choices. Analysis paralysis, my friend Jason. You're suffering from analysis paralysis. Many people fall into this trap. You know the company Procter & Gamble? They tackled a similar challenge. So how did they handle it then? Jason asked. When P&G was overwhelmed by too many product options, they implemented a 90-10 rule. They focused on the top 10% of opportunities that offered 90% of the potential returns. That move right there became their decision-making process. From this, Jason realized the importance of prioritizing and focusing on the most impactful opportunities to avoid getting bogged down by choice overload. Empowered by Sarah's story, Jason streamlined his decision-making process by focusing on the most promising opportunities and letting go of lesser options. Imagine yourself at a busy restaurant, surrounded by the lively chatter of fellow diners, voices blending in the air, creating a vibrant atmosphere. Laughter and stories filled the space, accompanied by soft background music. And here's where our story begins. The group dinner encounter. Rob, a passionate entrepreneur with a vision for his book, but struggling to translate it into action. Michael, a serial entrepreneur who recently sold his business for a significant sum, admired for his perseverance and adaptability. I have so many ideas for my book, but I can't seem to commit to one direction. It's like I'm spinning my wheels in place. Michael leans in, back in his chair with a reflective look on his face. Analysis paralysis, my friend. It's a common hurdle for ambitious minds. Did you know Apple faced a similar dilemma in its early days? Apple? How did they overcome it? Asked Rob. You see, Rob, Apple's secret weapon was focus. They famously trimmed their product line down to a few core offerings, allowing them to pour all their resources and energy into making them exceptional. It transformed them from a struggling tech startup into a global powerhouse. The key takeaways for Rob was understanding the power of focus and the importance of channeling his energy into a singular vision to drive progress. Inspired by Michael's insights, Rob decided to streamline his book project and hone in on his core ideas and channel his efforts into bringing them into fruition. In each encounter, the main characters gained valuable insights from their stories of renowned companies who overcame analysis paralysis. Now that you know how to handle analysis paralysis, check out my video on overcoming imposter syndrome. Until next time.